right. I hit the live button, so we're about to go. There we go. It says we're live, so I bet we are. Hi. Hey, everybody. I hope you can see us and hear us out there. So, happy Halloween, Keith.
Happy
Pragmatic.
Halloween.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mary Samhain.
Happy Samhain. And then we have is tomorrow Day of the Dead or is it the second?
Yeah, it's the first and the second. It's
And the
Dia de
second.
los
So
Muertos.
it's,
Yeah.
it's 2 days of the dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they know how to do it.
Good deal. Friday's licking my knee because she hears me saying hi to somebody, but nobody's here. So she's like, "What's going on? What's up?"
I had to kick Zaro out because he was just sitting here squeaking his toy. I was like, oh, we can't have it.
Well, happy Halloween, everybody. Hi, JJ. I know you're out there. Hopefully, Sam. Hey, Spooky. Hi, everybody. David Bucky. Yay. Hi, everybody. Glad you're here. Happy Halloween. Happy Samhain, Samhain, Day of the
Mhm.
Dead, all the good stuff. I'm a bit nipply. So,
I love this. It's such
as
a
it
good costume.
I don't know. I don't even know what happened. I was just like, what am I gonna wear on the live? And I just all of a sudden I saw this and I was like, I guess that's it. I mean,
Yeah,
if you ask and you shall receive, I
that's
guess.
amazing. Yeah. I mean, just like the sheer creative ingenuity of designing nipples to place
Yeah,
all over.
I've been editing a podcast today, making little nipples. So just a bit. Yeah, exactly, David. It's just a bit nipply.
As you do, editing podcasts, making nipples.
All
You know how it
right.
goes.
The nippleator. The one and only nippleator. Thanks, JJ. So I'm in, like this I was telling Pragmagic, I'm in New Orleans. This is my little rental in New Orleans here. So I got a little temporary rental. It's a little back house, a little studio apartment. So everybody gets to see me in a kitchen, which you never get to see. So that's hey Jasmine, happy Sam Hain. Good to see you. Glad everybody's here. Mini nips on full display. You know it, Jet Petty. Yay, Jet Petty's here. Oh yeah. He's like, I got two.
I don't want to feel left out.
That's right. Yeah, everybody in the audience, please feel free to grab your nipples and play along.
My kind of show.
So do you are you we're gonna talk about tarot.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, you know what I want to talk about first is I just learned this. You just told me this a second ago. So what happened to Seattle?
Oh yeah. So tonight, Mary and I, my partner, decided it's our anniversary as well, and we get a little nutty about kind of haunted history stuff. So Seattle, its first incarnation was burnt down by a great fire, and they basically built a city on top of the ruins. And so tonight we are going to take the tour and explore the subterranean city that was the first incarnation of Seattle. So,
See, other people probably knew this. I did not. This is the first time I've ever heard this. And this
yeah,
makes me
it's
I mean, I've been to Seattle, but
mhm.
I didn't know any of this. Now it makes me want to go back and feel the vibes in that way.
Yeah, I know JJ knows about it because JJ has lived here for a long time. But yeah, it's just one of those weird things, in Portland. The reason why we also decided to do this is because on one of our anniversaries, we went to the Shanghai tunnels in Portland, and we had like a little private tour, which was really funny. And it was, fun and kitschy. They basically give you like stud finders, to say that like, oh, there's ghosts present, just goofy stuff like that.
Okay,
Um,
stud finder.
yeah, it's basically what they are. But yeah, so we didn't. I have the day off because it is a religious holiday, and I we were just thinking, and yeah, it's just us to do this kind of residential tourism. Also, I've just been really enamored. I work now in I went from teaching in the woods, to now I'm working downtown, like all over downtown doing event stuff. And for the first time, I'm getting to be really enamored with like just kind of the rhythms of Seattle and this nautical meets forest kind of haunted like passageway that it is. And so
Oh.
I've been catching myself, like I'll have a beer after work and I found out later that it's the most haunted bar in Seattle. And I was just kind of automatically drawn there.
Hmm.
Um but yeah, so it's yeah, just getting really nerdy about the residential tourism.
Oh, I love it. The sea
Yeah.
meets the forest. That's awesome. And right, it is your, like somebody reminded me in chat, it's your anniversary. So like
Yeah.
happy anniversary.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
and I know Jonathan said this was this underground Seattle thing, the first thing you did with your wife, your first date. So like this sounds like, I mean, if that's true, this sounds like a very what do you call it? It's like a lucky Halloween date to go,
Yeah.
right? This seems
Yeah,
like
it's weird, and we didn't really have any plans. It was just one of those things. Funny enough, I was looking into this, thinking about ideas because we're in a place now where, it's I haven't really hit the stride in playing live so much yet. So eventually we'll do like fun PJ Harvey cover bands or something for Halloween, me and Mary. But you know, we also just aren't really into the nightlife circuit or any of that. So we
right.
wanted to do something a little nerdy tonight.
Yeah, it
So
was a
it
little
worked out.
nerdy.
Yeah.
JJ said they had their most haunted experience ever in Seattle. Yeah,
Yeah. I
very
imagine.
cool.
I was talking to the bartender last night, Esther, at this bar that I go to for just like a quick beer after work, and was like, "Hey, did you know that this is the most haunted bar in Seattle?" She's like, "Yeah, I know, but I hadn't found shit yet." there's I have people calling all the time, and there's been hordes of people for Halloween, but like I work here until the wee hours of the morning, and there's been no contact for me, so I don't know what people are talking about. So,
Right. Well, I mean, some people it seems like just aren't. This is so funny because it's backwards. There we go.
yeah.
Aren't like as sensitive, even.
Yeah, and I think there's a truth to that. I think once you
Yeah.
parlay kind of those passageways in you, when you open yourself up, it's like your periphery, right? You
Yeah.
start to see channels and things, you notice it more. Whereas, if people are just kind of cut off to it, they wouldn't. It'd
Right.
have to be something really in their face, but it rarely is.
And even then, probably hi six
Yeah.
drops. I know when I went to Goddard up there in Vermont, the school, that place is supposedly very haunted. I think now that was like 12 years ago. So like I think now I would like pick up even more. But it's just definitely a bunch of us had like haunting experiences and they did ghost hunting and all this stuff up there, right? And
Mhm.
one of my teachers, she was like, well, because the faculty, it was a what do you call it, low residency, so the
Uh-huh.
faculty would also stay in the dormitory, we'd all go together, and be there, and so they had their own dorm, they had a faculty dorm, right? And one of my mentors was like, well, they put me in the most haunted room on the entire campus because I am way too high strung, or I am way too tightly wound to go through that shit. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, so like she's like, I don't care, there's no I don't care how haunted this building is, there's no way I am seeing or feeling any of that shit.
Yeah. It's interesting too, yeah, because it does get kitschy with a lot of I think like a lot of the ghost hunting tools are pretty silly, but it's that over scientific kind of understanding or attempt, and you're just going to be looking at the same evidence the same way forever, expecting different results. But
Yeah.
I stayed at a place called it's a old saloon slash kind of brothel in Port Costa, which is in Northern California, kind of near the Bay Area. You have to take like a train, and like we rode our bikes down this like dirt path down this canyon to this weird little port city. And it they build themselves as like, oh yeah, it's a haunted place and you can take haunted tours, but for me, that I took a cassette recorder and sat in one of the rooms for a day and just like kind of played and almost like opened up a channel of like influence around there. And when I reviewed the tape later, there was a wash of interesting, sounds that I didn't pick up on. And, so I think there's ways to really feel, those, I don't want to call them energies, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's a
Yeah,
way to like intercept those things. I just feel that the way a lot of people look at it to feel those ways are not going to be as provincial.
it's,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when I mean, I've had some not so subtle experiences, but I don't
Right.
think they would have happened if I was like, all right, I've got a camera and a recorder and a stud
Yeah.
finder or whatever.
Yeah. My
I like,
favorite is when people are walking into rooms going, "Come on, ghost. Come
yeah.
on." Yeah.
Oh my, oh my God, I
Why are
know
you
that.
yelling at them?
I know. That guy, Zach, whatever his name was, I don't
Yeah.
even know if he's still out there. But come on, man, come on. And
Yeah.
I'm like, who? I mean, if, okay, as a live person, if you were like, get over here, take me on, I'd be like, we should go. We should all
Yeah.
go. Because this guy is like, he's hopped up. He needs help. Like,
We're gonna go haunt the manager so he gets kicked out.
yeah, right. Excuse me, but that
Yeah.
gentleman seems to be losing his shit.
Yeah.
Right. And two, like if you're making like a show all the time, trying to make these ghosts on, you have to have content. And like,
Right.
the ghosts
Yeah.
are not like, oh, you need content. Well, let me see if I can throw some things around the room for you.
Right.
Like
Wait,
it's
what's
just
your
they're not.
subscriber count? Yeah.
Yeah,
Wh-
right. They're like, I don't, yeah, they're right. I don't know. Do you have clout, sir? I don't know if I want to
Mhm.
haunt somebody who has no clout.
Oh, Ghost
Zach is a
Clout
joke.
is
That's
such a
what I
good
was like,
band name. Ghost Clout.
what? Just clout?
Just Ghost Clout as a
Ghost
band name.
clout. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I love it. I totally love it.
I've got
Callie
a
said
cachet of energies. That's a good
something.
one.
Callie said something about Camp Babylon the other day, and I was like, oh, I love that band name. We got to start a band called Camp
That is a good one.
Babylon. I know. Even
Yeah.
if we only do one song, we have to do it.
I love that.
So, like Tara, so how often do you pull cards? Keith?
Um, it hasn't been as much lately, but I carry the Marseille deck wherever I go.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's yeah, it's just more of an intuitive thing when I get pulled to, I have it right here. It's all beat up because I carry it everywhere.
Oh nice.
But yeah, and there's times in my life where I'm really pulling and journaling, and then there's times where, I think my last recent one where I just feel that the more often I pull, maybe the less magnanimous the like readings can be, especially just me as I internalize the cards. Whereas, they kind of become a wash of, you know, frequencies that are hitting each
Oh
other
yeah. You
because
might have
I'm
unmuted.
reading so much. Um, but I did before this last one when I got offered to do this, to be out for my outdoor education thing, but I had to basically live in Oregon, um, with the idea that I'd relocate there. And that's how I basically spent September and some of October. And I did a big reading before that. And it it sticks with me still because it was very, it was like the Empress, it was Nine of Pentacles, and then it was Seven of Pentacles. And it was like just this idea of like, there is a lot of work is going to be get work,
Mm-hmm.
with it. And so I kind of kept that and I used that reading and, wrote about it as it was churning throughout the weeks. So I'll pull a lot for little spurts and then I'll, pull a big one and then keep kind of working with that one.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that because that is like really, I mean, that is really important, especially like reading for yourself. You tend to want to just glance at the cards and pick them up and do it again,
Right.
Whereas like I'm always like make them stick to the table, make yourself like do like a reading for yourself, like I would
Yeah.
for a client. Like with clients, like I don't pick up cards. Like I get what I get, and then I'm like, I got to figure this out. Like usually it
Hmm.
comes right through, and I see the story, but every once in a while it'll stump me a little bit. But if I hang into it, I'm like, oh, actually, this reading's really deep. So I
Yeah.
love
It,
like, yeah.
I think that was the thing with that pull in particular was I saw it a different way to what I understand it now as. And I think that like permutation through, understanding like just a simple pull,
Hmm.
was it had more weight to it for me. There'll be
Right.
times too when I'll pull and I will just take those cards out of the deck and I won't pull from that deck anymore and I'll put them on my altar. And so that
Yes. Me
I,
too.
have to reinvigorate like what my spelunking into that would be.
Yeah. Right. No, I love that. Well, I have tons of decks, so I definitely will put like cards out
Hmm.
and not pick them back up, and like be like, these are like these are my cards for right now that I need to think about. And sometimes I'll get a few different decks, or I'm like, I've kind of got a bunch of decks all tied up in my own readings right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I
Yeah.
was gonna ask you if yeah, when doing that, say, if I was just to pull a 3 card draw for a specific thing, setting those cards aside and then using the rest of the deck to kind of figure out the machinations, you know, or is
Hmm.
it kind of maybe I don't want to say irresponsible, but it's playing with a short deck basically. Is that something you've done or dealt with?
I mean, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it that way. It's,
Hmm.
like something somebody taught me years ago is they're like, once, if you start doing something your way, just keep doing it that way. And I was like, oh,
Right.
okay, that's smart. But I usually I'll pull from one deck and then, I'll say like, oh, well, tell me more about this. And I'll pull from another deck. So I don't usually use the leftover, whatever, the rest of the deck.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, but you certainly can. Let's see. Usually try to. This is here. Oh wait, I forgot. I can do this. This is so cool. Show it to me. There it is. Usually I try to wait a week between 3 to 5 card readings. Oh, but
Hmm.
recently it feels like things have been unfolding a lot faster. I'm having that experience, and so are my clients. Like our stories are unfolding a little bit more quickly right now. What do you
Yes.
think? I think for you, for sure, Keats. Like we've
Hmm.
seen that for like the last 2 months with you in your personal life.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's yeah, and then I'll have specific decks too. Like the Marseille for me is it's my travel companion, it's my go-to, and the way that it's kind of laid out and the way that I visualize it leaves a lot more for kind of an anarchic interpretation, right? But
Hmm.
if I'm hard and fast and things are just not being figured out, or if it's too metaphorical, like I'll go with the Hermetic, um, because that one just gives no fucks
Is that
a lot of
the
the time.
the top deck
So
or the Dawson? Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I would tell, I don't have my hermetic deck here. Yeah, hang on. There are some people who only read with the major arcana cards. I just
That's
told my
true.
class right now to give that a try. Because you certainly can do that. But I think I told you my story with my hermetic deck, the Dawson deck. I love it, and the art is beautiful, and like
Right.
there's so much like information on it, right?
There's a
So
lot. Yeah.
there's a lot. Like it's a very impressive deck, but like years ago, I'll have to show you mine sometime when I'm home and I have it. Um, but some years back, I started. I had like I don't care about naked people on cards, like boobies, all that stuff. It's just they're like boobies. They're like double D's that stand up like this on that card.
Mm.
Like all the women that don't have tops on, they have like these huge like boobs like that stand straight up, and like
Is
it's
it is it this
like the
deck?
princesses. I think is that one of them. Oh, yours is in color.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
mine is all black. Mine's all black and white. Is it? what's his first name? Is it
Oh, oh
Dawson or
no, that Hermetic one is all black and white. Yeah,
yeah,
if you're still
that's
talking about that one, yeah. But this
yeah.
one was, yeah, it's very. I love it. It's like very 1970s, heavy metal magazine.
Totally. And so I
Yeah.
got with the one that's black and white though, I got to where I was like, I just these boobs are driving me crazy. So I had to color I put clothes on all the princesses and I'm like, I am such a prude right now, but I just cannot look. I mean, I can't look at these fake, I can't look at these plastic boobies. I mean, I guess plastic boobies do. I just got it's just so funny because I'm like, oh my God, I am such a grandma right now. I'm gonna put
No,
clothes
but
on these girls.
that's actually a really great point. Like, yeah, if there's an aspect that's extremely distracting, especially when it's like it's drawn in a way that, there's not a lot of imperfections on the people. I would that's why I love the Marseille. It's very, you
Yeah,
know, kind of Renaissance, like, you
yeah,
know simple art where it's not you're not staring at the depiction of a social perfect kind of human form or something, because yeah, I could
yeah.
see that as being it's not relatable, right?
It's not relatable,
Yeah.
and it was just like it would throw me out of the reading because I'd be like, "Why are these double Fs like standing up in the straight up in the air?" Like it was just like,
And in
I
Nicole
know,
Smith.
yeah,
Yeah.
genocide boobs driving people crazy. Let's see, wait, 6 drops. I heard of a nip slip, but am I being rude if I say something? I don't know. You'll have to say it, I guess. 6 drops.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what are you saying? Well, the Marseille deck too. That's like Hortorowski. That's his whole.
Yeah.
He's like that is the only true deck, and I think it's even like really specific. Like it's like an Italian Marseille deck.
Oh,
Marseille.
his.
The one that he's like says is the only real tarot deck in the world. I feel like it's so weird because it's like a French deck. It's the Marseille deck, but I
Right.
think it's an Italian made French deck
Right.
that he's like that's the one, and
Because isn't that academically like the current of what tarot came from is very Italian based too?
yes, that's
Yeah.
what. Well, at least the major arcana like
Right.
came from some Italian king, I guess. But the rest of them didn't. The rest of the deck, it wasn't all made at once, and so the
Yeah,
rest of
I
the
mean,
deck doesn't come from that.
Hodorowski, like I love him very much as a creator and stuff. But yeah, there can be a bit too absolutist about, certain things.
He's
And
pretty
honestly,
funny.
I didn't realize I was a fan of his films forever, and I didn't, really get into his tarot stuff until much later. So I had gotten to Marseille, you know,
Right,
prior to that. And
right.
so there's there was a fear of, because the Marseilles, I mean, like with every deck, there's an intended way of reading it, right?
Hmm.
And I kind of fear that sometimes. I fear of like the almost academic like look into a specific deck, because with me, and like a lot of it is intuitive as far as like me reading the cards of a specific deck, but it's also a general understanding of what the cards are across decks, right? And so when, reading like, Psycho Magic or something from Jodorowsky, it's like I don't want it to influence my reading of it like too much,
Right.
you know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, right. Yeah, Sam said something to like it was originally Italian, but the French adopted it after the Pope. So okay, so maybe that's kind of where Hortorowski's coming from with that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you for that, Sam. Yeah, I teach, him in that class, especially the one I'm teaching now, the tarot dynamics, the intermediary class. I talk about Hortorowski in there, but I have lots of caveats with him, as I do
Mhm.
with like with, like most of these folks. But
Yeah.
I do find like his contribution like really super. It's super important, But yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Should we draw a Halloween card and see what happens?
Oh yeah, that'd be
Okay.
awesome. I was just gonna say, on that note too, just a shameless plug for Michelle, but this book, like it's not there's not like an impeding influence with how you lay this out. It's this beautiful kind of like almost poetic cross-cultural, cross-deck understanding of the, the
Thank
trumps and the
you.
pips and all that. And as I said, Mary, it's like broken open her head. She's always been kind of an intuitive reader with
Hmm.
stuff, but she was telling me that she just finds so much strength in how you've, you know,
Oh, that's awesome.
like written about each one. And she loves that it's a little workbook too.
I know, right? Yeah, me. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I love to get feedback like that from people. I appreciate that cross cultural like look at it
Yeah.
also because that is how I see it.
There was one, so Knight of Cups, I was at an OTO meeting way back, and there was a talk about Crowley and tarot. And I just remember um, they were talking about birthdays, basically like a kind of astrological correlation to each card.
Hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
mine, as well as like maybe Stevie Siroth's, like birthdays correlated to the Knight of Cups. And I just remember Crowley's disdain for the Knight of Cups and people of the Knight of Cups.
He hates
And I
the
remember going, you know,
yeah. Wait, is that
um,
your card?
I guess so in his context of it.
Okay.
Um, that comes up a lot, but I was reading this the other day. Your breakdown of it is it's perfect. It's got both, the kind of Piscean aspects, right?
Right.
Of
Here, I'll pull the Knight of Cups up and we can look at it and then you
yeah.
can kind of like this is what the Knight of Cups looks like for folks out there. There's that guy.
Hmm.
This is the Wade Smith deck. So, yeah, I don't know. Did you want to tell us something from there or for whatever you think about this card?
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely one that's popped up a lot for me, and like I said, in these kind of astrological kind of correlations, the Aquarian Piscean kind of
Right.
correlations. But when you wrote about it, I really love this. Just a simple little paragraph that introduces it. You say, treat him as if he is someone special, and he will open magic for you. Fall too far into his world, and you will cry confused tears. Creativity finds its stride in this card, but requires protection from the overly critical and competitive. And I
Mm.
love that because it's true. It's like I can
Right.
see the best aspects of you know my obsession with creativity, but I can also see like the kind of malicious aspects of it too, you know
See, I
in
gotta
that.
like I gotta
Yeah,
feel on that because that's like that can be that Knight of Cups for sure. Can be like
yeah.
that.
You said at his best this knight is a source for self-approval and respite from the slings and arrows of social life.
Mm.
Accept his faith and generous assessments, but be careful with your romantic heart because he is, after all, a knight, and knights must depart as surely as they must arrive. I was like, damn.
That's very true with that
Yeah.
Knight of Cups. He needs his space kind of.
Hmm. Yeah, you will likely love this knight, but he must go, and you should try to stop. Should you try to stop that process, the blame will fall on you.
Ooh, ouch, burn, damn.
Yeah. When knights must go, let them. Should you long for love, let no knight of any stripe find your heart open in the moonlight. May
Oh,
we be discerning. I love that, though.
thank you for reminding me of that. I'm like, I wrote that? How
It's
cool.
so poetic. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Keith. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Sam says, Pragmagic told me I reminded him a lot of the Queen of Cups. And 5 months later, I found out Carly equated the Queen of Cups with my birthday in the Toth Tarot.
Yeah. Synchronous.
Whoa.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. I
Huh.
see like Mary is very much kind of a queen of swords. Like I can see personality, like just generalizations, which I hate to do, you know. But yeah, and I'm not sure if maybe that's kind of the perception of me would be like a Knight of Cups, or but I definitely find a lot of solace in the wands, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
that sort of thing. But yeah, it's just I think back when I was talking with Sam about that, we had that conversation about the Crowley, you know,
The
equation or whatever. But yeah, I didn't realize that it was Sam's birthday that was correlated, which again, I don't like to do. Ripping off Crowley. What?
there was a JK, JK,
Okay.
JK.
Right. That ain't happening. No, that's funny.
Keith
Um,
is all like, bring it over here, Bucky.
yeah. No, but yeah, I don't like those generalizations. I feel like, we're also multifaceted, but it is interesting to think in lieu of like social media and this like dynamic change in how we represent ourselves these days. It's almost like we are kind of ascribing ourselves to certain cards with how our, Instagram looks like, relates
Uh-huh.
to the world or something. So yeah, it's an
Yeah.
interesting
Well,
idea.
and we're not unchanging, and neither are the
Mhm.
cards, which I think is like
Right.
important also, as time goes on, your relationship with them changes, but also in my own experience of having done this for so long, they themselves like evolve and change. Like if you're
Yeah.
really involved in like the tarot story and the tarot world, like because I always tell people like visualize the world, all the trees and the towers and like visualize all these characters walking around, like Richard Scarry's town or something, only it's like, it's like the
Yeah,
tarot,
yeah.
right? And so they really do grow and change. And the more that I'm involved, I've been in that town, for a long time now. And just recently, like there have been some changes that I keep like when the card pops up, the way that I'm used to seeing that card, I'm like, you know what? That character has evolved. They've changed, or devolved in some ways. Right now we're in a devolving, like the emperor. I always take the emperor really well. I've always had a really positive viewpoint on the emperor, and more recently
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, he's like in a bad mood. Like the emperor is like more like what other people's, a lot of people tend to see the emperor as being this like authoritarian who
Mhm.
like is like, you're gonna do things my way. And I never really saw that until more recently. I'm like, ooh, oof, he's here. That's like that's
I can
him.
totally see that. Yeah, I also, I think it's just
Hmm.
my understanding. I always see a very, very contradictory aspects of the cards too, which is very like, um, it's very meditative and honestly, like there's no platitudes to it, which I love. Like, just get rid of the fucking platitudes of, the lovers, right? Or and like honestly think about how say the emperor like, on his worst day, yeah, it's authoritarian and also an absolutist and unchanging
Yes.
and immovable and you know so I think yeah, after that first when I was getting into tarot and kind of looking at stuff face value, there was always like I don't need a card to be reversed to understand what the negative connotations or perceived negative connotations. Some of them can honestly be, very advice oriented, go too much this way. This is
Oh, right.
yeah.
Right. Like a cautionary tale in
Yeah.
in every card. Yeah, I mean, and that's, and too, when I'm teaching, that's, what I always say too. Like, I mean, you know this about me, but like, I put my cards going the right way every day. And so, like, and I have several decks around me at all times. Right now there's four right in front of me, right?
Hmm.
And I'm slim. I didn't bring all my ducks to New Orleans with me. So,
Right, right.
but, but, so I put, so, if one of them comes up inverted, that's like a real indication to me that probably I should read it inverted because I don't even, how would that be? I just put you all going the right way. So I don't see how you even came up inverted.
I like that.
But that's what I talk about, right? So that's
Hmm.
what I talk about with students too. I'm like, it's like yourself. Like right now, like like you and I have this great chemistry, so you get like a good side of me, right?
Mhm.
But then there's like, certainly other people that come along and instantly, like I am not, the best side of me is not out, right? Because I'm inner, the alchemy that I have with that person doesn't bring out the best in me. We don't bring out the best in each other. So like that
Right.
part of, right? So that part of me is present right now. It's just not showing,
Mm.
right? You're not seeing it right now, but it's still
Yeah,
here.
but it's still subterranean. It's still
Yeah.
like mutating and moving. Yeah, I like
Right. And
that.
the same thing with the cards. And so it depends on what's around them. And it's like, well, what aspect is this guy? Like here's the emperor. Well, around like say like the high priestess, he's probably more in his best self because she's so deep, and so he kind of knows
Right.
that she's gonna see his armor, more than his toughness, right? So he's gonna have to like this other part of him is gonna kind of come out, whereas maybe him with the Hierophant, like they're both like I'm really who the people look to. No, I am. No, I am. No, I am.
I love your too. You had the in Daydream Tarot again. Like you have these. So in the sorry, I'm all over the place. But in the Hermetic Tarot, there's a confusion too because there's subtitles right on the cards. Like
Yeah.
you know, Princess of Pentacles, Princess of the Echoing Hills, which I love because it's very flighty and metaphoric. And yours, you
Mhm.
have the same, but they're one word punches, which I love.
Yes.
And the one for the Hierophant stays with me. It's the Archivist. And I was like, holy shit, that's
Right.
you say so much in just that word. And, I can discern even kind of the solitude and the maddening need to document and, be procedural and, be kind of stuck in history. Whereas also you are keeping, kind of the record of, all good things. So in just your one word subtitles, they really punch me. I really dug that.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, the archivist is all of those things. Because can you imagine,
Mhm.
like on the one hand, he's got the keys to like whatever our history of our soul, of society, of all this stuff. He's like got the keys to all of this. And so on the one hand, he's like, "Don't worry, I got you." And on the other hand, he's got to be like, "You're all doing it wrong."
Right.
You
Or
know?
I've kept a record of all of your malcontent. Yeah, it's like data data is both good and bad, and I feel like, again, to bring it into more of like a current rhythm,
Mhm.
we're seeing that full stop right now. We're seeing, like, social media be the hierophant?
Oh
Like
God. Oh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, right. Because it never forgets anything. They can delete your
Mhm.
account from you, but it's still
Yep,
somewhere.
but they have it. Yeah.
They have it. God, it's so real. It's so true. Oh, let's see. You want to each pull a card for Halloween, and we'll see what comes up. I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
should we ask a question? I mean, we should. It's just. I don't care if we just pull a card, but we could like
Huh.
these
Yeah,
nipples.
maybe, should we do this from the audience? Someone have
Yeah,
a
we
good
can.
question?
Anybody have a question, or I guess we could read. You could get a card too if y'all want. Is that
Oh,
okay with you?
yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna let you steer this ship. You are far more
All
far more
right.
knowledgeable.
Oh, I don't know. Hi y'all. Hey, Callie. Thank
Hey,
you.
Callie.
Yay, Callie. I'm gonna bring Callie some pho later. This is what's great about being in the same city together.
Yeah, right? But yeah, you were talking about that earlier, like, there's when life, happens and there's all these major movements and machinations, you get kind of like, your creative output sidelines, right? Because you're dealing with so much.
Mhm.
And that has happened to me so often, especially recently, where I have to remind myself that the process of this transmutation in life that we're doing is a creative process, that is a creative output, you know?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it is. The whole thing is,
Mhm.
you've been doing so much and moving around so much lately, and you've still been putting out so much of your, I know you want to organize it differently, but your output's been a
Yeah.
lot lately, even though you've been running around.
Yeah, it's been easy, like especially with this haunt manual project, to write and to utilize my, evenings and things to just be the hermit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um where and then when it kind of combusts, to carve out time to do the audio podcast or like put out the video of it. So it's been nice to like be cross platform or multimedia, right? With
Yeah.
everything, but it's really from the same source. And then it's not unlike the card pulling where you kind of rest and meditate on it. It all changes with each ligament that's coming out.
Oh
So
God, yeah.
yeah, so I definitely had a um I'm having an easier go kind of not doing something so radically different in each like I used to. Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I get, so the threads go, they're going together. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's good stuff, Keith. All right, we got JJ, Sam, and Six Drops all have card requests. So let's start with
Oh,
JJ.
cool.
Let's pull one for her.
Of course.
All right. So here we go. All right, JJ, this is for you. Here's one from. Whew, this is a new deck. I got to replace my decks all the time, so like they're all slippery.
Right. So you prefer the Rider weight, yeah?
I
That's
do
kind of
right
your
now at this
yeah.
point in time. Like I use like three or four different versions, so there's slightly different coloration on them. Or Modern Witch. This is Modern Witch deck, which is
Oh
obviously
yeah, I like that one. It's
I
very
love.
deco.
Yeah, and it's very
Yeah.
it's Wade Smith, but it's just done, with it just has a much more modern diverse. That's why it's like Modern Witch. But anyway, so I use that one and then like three or four decks that are Wade Smith that have different colorations on them so I can tell which deck is which when I'm looking at it. I don't always read like that over the past like year. I've just been all I really want to do is read the Wade Smith. And before that,
Mhm.
though, I use Toth almost all the time. Toth and
Oh,
Marseille.
interesting.
So I would
Yeah, yeah.
read with the Rider Waite, a Toth, and a Marseille, which are two different traditions, even,
Right.
right? And so, and that used to be really important to me in readings was that I would have both traditions present, so because there's so much information from both traditions. Right now, I'm not there. I'm all in with this Wade Smith. And
Mm.
like that's just where I'm at, and we'll see
I
what happens.
dig it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of like it's probably the most charged current too
I mean, in a
of them
lot of
all.
ways.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, JJ. I got the Page
Woo!
of Cups for you, which is rad.
That
Ooh,
is rad.
oh yeah. See what I said in that book.
Well, I was just looking at this earlier today. See how quickly I flipped to it?
Oh yeah, you did.
um But yeah, this page might bring you a message regarding your closest relationships. This is a vulnerable spirit with a creative heart. The application of empathy illuminates the path laid ahead. And that's just your little introduction to it.
Right.
Yeah, Page of Cups is always like spritish to me. It's like that wonderment, the kind of illuminated emotion. It's the rosy in a good way, like
Hmm.
not that you're wearing rose-colored glasses, but your irises are actually rosy about kind of life
Oh.
and you know.
Oh, I love that. It's really
Mhm.
very true. Like the pages are very like youthful.
Yeah,
So like, so like you have this youthful energy and and water's so creative, if you think of life itself like comes because that's what that fish is. There's like that fish is gonna, I don't know, sprout legs in a minute, like Darwin fish, right? But so
yeah.
that everything kind of all life kind of comes from water. So all this creativity really comes out of water. So like I would venture to say, because I know that you're an artist, JJ. JJ makes beautiful jewelry for anybody who doesn't know. So like there could be like a new like you know how you go through like phases where you're kind of like this is kind of my aesthetic at this point in time, and I'm evolving this and growing this. You might branch off a little bit maybe, and there might be like some new. You're like, oh, this is a little bit of a new style that I'm going to be playing with. I could see that happening. Do you want to pull a card for JJ too? See if it backs us up.
Oh, sure. Should we do
That's
Marseille?
Yay, Callie. Yeah. Yes, please.
All
That would
right.
be
Oh,
yeah,
actually,
I
you
think
know
it
what?
is, JJ. I think it is
I
great.
have a more appropriate deck too
What's that?
for this happy
Ooh,
birthday.
I gotta
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah, just for the holiday, even though it's tomorrow, but
That's okay.
we'll do it. Oh
Close
yeah.
enough.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get you one, Callie. So we've got after this Sam and Six Drops and Callie. Yeah, cool.
Oh yeah. I haven't used this deck in a while and I smell it. The smell reminds me. Isn't that funny how they do that?
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really funny. You're like, the smell of this deck reminds me of 1999.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, do you have like a I wanted to ask you too, a personal way you cut and shuffle? Like I get really intentional that like when I cut it's my left hand, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
I used to do this. Like, I shuffle like this for the most part.
Mhm.
Like something like I said, this is a new deck, so the cards are all over the place. But I shuffle like this. My clients sometimes, shuffle like this. And I used to do this thing with my clients where I would be like, okay, now cut the deck with your left hand. And I would do that primarily to like, I want people to not think too much in a way when they cut the deck, right? And
Yeah,
so I would
okay.
kind of try to like distract people a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't been using that technique as much lately, but you kind of just reminded me of it. You get out of a habit and you forget. But yeah, and some people like really like, so for some folks you really want the way you do tarot to be doing it exactly the same every time, which I know I mentioned earlier, but like I probably don't follow that as much maybe as some other folks do. I
Right,
guess.
right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, and you're very like not only are you scholarly, but you're very intuitive as well.
It's
So,
true. Thank you,
yeah.
Keith. Let's see. Did you pull one for
Yes,
JJ?
they did. It's ridiculous. It
What?
is the Ace of Wands, which come on, as far as a new venture,
Yeah. And like
can you see it well?
I can't see. Oh yeah. Okay.
I
Oh,
love
that's
that.
pretty. Oh,
It
that's
looks like
really
rhurbarb.
yeah. Ooh, make a
That's
rhubarb
my
pie.
glare.
That makes sense because too, I know that in JJ's work they use a blowtorch from time to time.
Mhm.
So an ace of wands would be maybe like creme brulee jewelry.
Yeah, I wanted to so, like, yeah, especially as kind of this almost ignition or like this, perfect not perfect, but you know what I mean, like a encapsulating representation of wands, right, is the ace, like, as the suit is
Uh-huh.
the ace, right? And
Right.
that's, like, passion and, creativity and all the good stuff. I love wands.
I do
Uh,
too. Wands, right. Wands are for fire. They're very much ideas, fresh ideas.
right,
Right.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And
And,
McCallie says, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say when I teach carving to kids, we would kinda smelt our like spears and things that we were carving and create wands over fire, and that's the way to kind of personify it or like to not personify it but to like encapsulate it, to like finish it in a sense of this is now and um certain of a tool, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just am I want to make one. That's what
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
I can teach
Oh,
you. We'll
that's
do Zoom carving.
yeah. Well, Callie says that they imagine that they're looking through the woods trying to find the right path. That's really a great, like, that's a great imaging. That's a
It
really
is. It's also Callie's icon. It like
oh
their
yeah.
kind of was a perfect representation of that. Yeah.
You're welcome, JJ. All right, so we'll do one for Sam. It is a perfect representation of that. I agree. Like, I'll find the right path. But yeah, it's a great idea, like shuffling the cards and imagining that you're like, I just show me the right path. I love that.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
All right, so this is for you, Sam. All right, let's see. What do I got? Oh, You got a page also. You got the page
Ooh.
of stores though, Sam. Yeah. I mean, you know what though? I get a real positive vibe off this. This is like you still see what's behind you. Like you're still like, yep, that's back there. But man, you are like moving forward. Like, I mean, this card is always going forward and looking back at the same time. It's just sometimes it's more of like the looking back is a little bit more like you're stuck looking back. Even though you're walking forward, you're stuck looking back. I'm
Mhm.
not getting that vibe today with this one. It's like you know what's back there. You still know it still affects you in some way, but like you're getting it's almost ooh, I get a strong feeling you're almost getting ready to turn your head like forward though to where you're like, all right, I've made peace with that now. Oh, Sam, that feels really strong for me right now. Whew, I love
Yeah.
that. What do you got, Keith?
Well, I was gonna say that card always reminds me of like the pursuit of mental health too.
Mm.
Like
Oh, I love that.
embarking on maybe another like or trying or experimenting with like different routines and either it can be pharmacological, it can be, you know, therapy, it could also be meditation, it can be yoga,
Right.
but like things to really embark on a path of trying to quell, you know, maybe some of the mental like schisms, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got one for Sam too?
Oh yeah.
I was
I
just thinking
forgot
we
I'm
do
doing this as
backups
well.
on everybody. Like,
Yeah,
here's the
yeah.
other
I'm gonna do a Marsai
part.
for Sam since
Cool.
Sam has been using Marsai too.
All right. Sam says, I can
Let me
definitely
make sure.
resonate with that message. I feel like I'm finally closing a chapter in my life, trying to move on to something new. It was a really strong feeling. I got a really strong like vibe on that. And like making peace with something. I forget what your sign is, Sam. Scorpio? Is that right?
Gemini?
Gemini? Okay. All right. I'm not as familiar with how Geminis handle that kind of stuff. But that's good. It's a strong feeling, Sam. That's really great. Gemini.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, I forget.
them
I'm
freaking
terrible with names.
Geminis.
Yeah. Birthdays and birthdays. Thank you, David Bucky. Birthdays and signs. Like I'll remember all kinds of stuff. I'll remember the name of your dog you had when you were a kid, or like some sweet thing your grandma gave you. But your
Mhm.
birthday, your sign, I'm like, I don't know. Your job.
I
I'm
don't
like, I don't
fucking
know.
know.
I
What?
forgot.
Oh my goodness. Ace of Wands again.
Oh, wow. Everybody's on
Yeah,
fire.
that's amazing. I'm not making this up. Yeah, different deck
Yeah,
too.
two different
Um,
decks.
yeah, that's nuts. And it makes sense too, especially like the passion or the you know, creative change that you're making and almost like a routinization or figuring out, you know, the place in school and creative work and all of this. It's like you're on the right kind of journey to figure out the rhythm, right? Like the dance that will need to be taken. So
Ooh, yeah, I love that. Ooh, see, I got chills on that too. So things seem really good on their way. Good for you, Sam. I think things are pretty good
yeah.
right now, but they're about to get even better, probably. Ooh, I got chills for sure.
Heck yeah, bringing that wand.
Yeah.
Bringing that,
And
bringing
Six
that
Drops
wand.
asked if we pull some cards for Robin. So why don't I? This is a another person who does YouTube, and I know they're going through some stuff. So maybe we'll like pull blessings. How about that?
Pull what?
Pull like cards as a blessing.
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah.
All right. So
Yeah,
let's.
John texted me to let me know that Robin wasn't doing well, and of course, like all my well wishes possible go out to her
Yeah.
and speedy recovery, and she'll be
All
back in no time. I hope.
She will be back in no time, spicy and full of piss and vinegar as ever. So
As we've grown to love her.
yeah.
Oh,
All right. So this is a blessing for Robin, one of the grannies. Spicy granny. Oh, this one's lovely. Like this is the sun. This one pops right out for her.
oh, come
So
on.
this is
Yeah.
like, honestly, this is like sending her like a bunch of sunflowers. I bet you Robin actually really likes sunflowers a lot too. And so that's probably another reason. So this is like a nice bunch of flowers for her. And this is a bunch of warmth for her. So this is a big blessing for you, Robin. Lots of sunflowers and beauty and nice, beautiful golden light for you. Yeah, keep Robin in your thoughts for sure. She could use it.
That was beautiful. Couldn't have asked for a more appropriate card,
It is a good
honestly.
omen.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll do the Marseille again
Oh, okay.
because
Okay.
I'm, if I remember correctly, Robin hates Halloween, so I don't want to do De las Muertas
She
yet.
does she hate it? I think I was on the Grannies the last 2 years of Halloween though.
Yeah, I was
Or like
definitely on one
years.
that was kind of
Oh,
infamous.
that's right. We were on the infamous Halloween show together. But that's right. I do
Yeah.
remember something Robin said about like she just did it for her kids, but I was always like, that's really
Mhm.
sweet. Like you hated it and you
It
did
is.
everything. You carved a pumpkin and you did the costumes and you gritted your teeth and you did it for your kids. So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's adorable. I believe she's a Scorpio too, which is funny.
She is a that I do know for sure because I just saw it the other day. And I was
Mhm.
like, that rings true also that she's a Scorpio.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Cutting and pulling. Ooh, 5 of batons or wands.
All right. You know
Mhm.
what? That's like what do you think, Pete?
Well, the 5 is almost like um it's numerical to me and kind of a midpoint of like completion or change. It's also like how I picture 23, right? Added, and
Mhm,
23 to me is this kind of celestial ever changing number. And
mhm.
so with it, yeah, it seems like this is the midpoint and like a just a complete different, going forward kind of mosaic of life. And you know I imagine like going through whatever she's going through, and I'm not entirely certain, but I imagine that it's something that's going to, kind of stay with her, and maybe she'll, kind of use the recovery, right, to
Oh, I love
focus
it.
on something keeping her healthy and good. Not that she wasn't before, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what's happening.
I I
But
love I love what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah,
right. Like what's happening with her. Yeah. No, but like it kind of get like your reading kind of says it's like it'll be a place for her to kind of push off of a strong point at some
exactly.
point.
Yeah, it's like it's not
Yeah.
so much it's a completion as just like a mutation, like going forward, right?
Yeah. We love that.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. And also we got the sun and then wands are fire, so lots of light, lots of like all that
lots of
stuff.
light.
So yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for bringing that up, six drops. So lots of light to you, Robin. All that good stuff. Let's see. We got I
yeah,
know Callie and John side both want a card. So let's do one for Callie. We'll each pull one for Callie. So let me
sounds
see.
great.
Callie, this is for you. Whew. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is for Callie. Uh, there's that two of swords. That's that two of swords. Like, like right
Ooh,
now, that's like going inside yourself, Callie. That's going inside yourself and being like, I'm gonna get so strong that like nobody's gonna tell me anything.
I love it. Yeah,
Let's see what Keith's backup card is.
yeah, we'll see. Let's see, Kelly. We'll do
It's
or should we do
I
hermetic?
wasn't gonna
I
say
think
the
I'm like,
COVID, but since you said it, this is Callie having COVID right now. Callie
oh yeah,
is like going internal and is
yeah,
getting that. But like the two of swords, like she's blindfolded because it's like she can like take care of like what's at hand. Like she's got all the information from the outside that'll do her any good, and there's no reason to take any more. There's no reason to take in anymore. You just got to do what you got to do on your own. So like that makes Callie's laughing. Yeah, that makes total sense, right?
yeah. I get
Hi,
that. Yeah,
David. Nice to
I
meet
see
you.
it as like, yeah, when you're
Oh,
wounded,
good.
it's, I'm gonna put myself somewhere and shut off the rest of the world and just get better the way I know how, right? All right. So from the
Yep.
Santa Muerte deck, we have Knight of Pentacles.
Right. Why can't I get that to
Heck
go
yeah.
up?
Oh, I think you're frozen.
I don't know
Oh,
why
there
I
you
can't
are.
hide your comment. It won't let me. Ooh. Okay. Oh, that's why I
Yeah.
made the comment.
So Knight of Pentacles. And
Okay.
in
That's
keeping
why I
with
couldn't hide
the
the comment. I
Knight.
was frozen. I don't know what is going
Oh,
on.
am I still live? Can you still see me? Am I still regular? Callie's energies broke the stream. That's pretty punk rock, though. That's cool. Oh no, it's just me. There's but yeah, so Callie, I pulled Knight of
Add this stream.
Pentacles.
Okay. All right.
This was Callie's backup, Knight of Pentacles, which in
Oh,
keeping with your lore with like the knight, it makes sense of the when a knight is on their stride, you can't really get in the way. And it makes sense with Callie, like I'm needing to just remove myself, make sure I'm good, and then we can proceed. you know? So and Pentacles too,
yep.
yeah. I wonder if there's yeah, I mean, earthly things, right? Like hearth and
Yeah.
home, like needing to be warm and blankets and feeling good about, your sanctuary. Makes perfect sense.
Yep. Yeah. It really does. And
Oh no, we have a nipply. We have a nipply um stutter. Nipply stagnation. They do, Sam. They're perfectly complementary. As I just explained, Sam, were you even watching? I'm just joking. That'd be funny to pull a total hissy fit while Michelle's stuck, and I'll just freak out. God! All right, it's my show now. Welcome to PRAGMAGICK. My name is Keats Ross, and we are taking over Michelle's stream. Put all of your comments about Michelle in the chat. So how's everybody doing? I can't highlight comments on my end, which is a bummer. I'm so silly. Yeah, well, someone's got to be through all this rough and tumble. Michelle rocks. She certainly does. Michelle is amazing. She absolutely is. Keep them coming, Gleep Glop. I like all of the nipples and wonder if I am gay now. I think that is up to you and your creator. Not that, or like yourself can be your creator. That was a joke. Hopefully you didn't take that biblically. Anyways, I'm obviously crashing and burning here alone in this sad, lonely stream on Halloween. And all right, who wants another card? We'll do another card. Was it we did 6, Callie, Sam? We'll do one for me and Mary, and we're gonna do the Marseille. Because we are going to the Seattle Underground this evening. So we shall see. Shuffle music, please. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, Jonaside. Hi.
I'll come save
Yeah,
you.
she's saving me, Mary. Mary's
You're doing
saving
a
me.
great job.
Do, 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 do.
Do.
Oh yes, the Phantom of Paradise. Yeah, it does kind of look like that, huh? It's custom. Let's see. I think Michelle is messaging me. It's gonna reboot here. I think the whole system just crashed out. I'm still live. All right, we're gonna do one. We'll wait. Yes, Phantom of Paradise is amazing. It does kind of look like that mask. Oh, there she is! Yay!
I'm back. I worked. I'm back. Sweet. Oh, then Mary came in for
There
the
you go.
I tried to come
Plus.
and save the day, Michelle, but you hath returned.
Oh,
sink
we
back.
spoke too soon. She stalled again. All right, this was our card
All
for
right,
tonight.
let's do it. Better be good.
Oh my God, the Knight of Swords. Actually, we have Michelle here in spirit. We can look up the Knight of Swords as she would from her brain. We have from the page. Let's see what Michelle says about the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is brave. They chase the horizons they desire without knowing what they will confront. At some point, all endeavor requires the action inherent to this knight. Once we have prepared to the best of our abilities, we must begin. Hell yeah, that's a great anniversary card. That's a great anniversary card. The primary difference between bravery and recklessness is a knowledge of what dangers potentially lay ahead. If we are to act with bravery, we must be aware that not only could we fail, but also what consequences we will face if we do not succeed in our mission. In the Knight of Swords, we encounter a character who uses their fine-tuned powers of intellect to imagine the road ahead so as to make the best possible plans and consult the most experienced and knowledgeable people on the course they will map. The mind of this knight pursues capability and preparedness and also plumes the more mysterious depths of emotion because the wellspring from which courage leaps is held like a gem in the heart. Hell yeah.
Word.
Thanks, Michelle. That was a great
Hell
reading.
yeah. So glad I could be here for that.
No, that was lovely.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Knight of
great.
Swords.
Yeah, nice. That's nice. Good. That's fantastic for Callie. Yeah, Callie is saying it's honestly hard to stream from here from New Orleans. I guess it is. But we're not doing too bad. So let's see. Let's get do we want to do one for oh yeah,
For
it is
Johnny.
the second time. Yeah, for Genocide. Sam's reminding us that that's the second time that card has occurred tonight.
He's trying to slink away.
Bye, Mary. Thanks for hopping in. Good to see you.
Great, Michelle. Happy Halloween. Leaving now.
Happy Halloween. Happy anniversary. All right. So this one is for this one's for Genocide. So let's do one for Genocide. All right, here we go, Genocide. This one's getting some big energy coming in here. And I know Renee was here earlier too. If you're still there. Hi Renee. I don't think I got the
Oh yeah, hi Renee. Yeah.
I know she was around somewhere. All right, this is for Genocide. Aw, this is super sweet. That's the Six of Cups.
Oh, nice.
That's a really nice card. Sixes are harmonies, and like in this particular card. Oh, she's next to you. Yeah, hi Renee. And this one, you know what? This might have something to do with Renee too, right here. So like the Six of Cups, really, I love this card, and it always makes me think of Philip K. Dick.
Interesting.
Philip K. Dick said, and John said, you and Renee might like Philip K. Dick. God is not a deity. God is the experience of giving and receiving simultaneously. And I love that. Just the idea that like God is an experience and not a deity, not a sky daddy, right? And so like, and I think of what is giving and receiving simultaneously, but it's a kind of intimacy, and that's what it's like. What makes intimacy scary? Because like at the one point in time, you're open because you're receiving, but then also like you're giving, but you're giving what another person really wants to be given. I mean, I think sometimes we do like we do intimacy kind of wrong, and we're like, well, these are like, I want to give you a car, you know, and the other person's like, I don't want a car, I want a picnic. And they're like, no, I'm giving you a car. Like, that's not, whatever, right? So sometimes, it's really important to be open enough to giving to what other people, like what they really need from you. And so I just feel like maybe this is like, it's not so much telling you to do that as it is to talk about like celebrating like your ability to do those things and your ability to mirror another person and to mirror yourself. And maybe it's not just your partner, maybe it's other people, it's your kids, it's your, other extended family, it's whatever. But this giving and receiving simultaneously, I bet you're really good at it, Jonaside. So like, and this card is just speaking to that and saying, I think in a lot of ways, just let it be. It's uncomfortable sometimes, and that's that.
Yeah,
That's
John
what I'm
aside is
seeing.
a giver of experience too. He took me to a wrestling here in Seattle. It's the first time I met him. He very much is a conductor of experience, and I love
Oh
that.
yeah.
I love that about him. Yeah. So am I pulling one for John too? Oh no, it's the Seven of
Yeah.
Swords. No, I'm just kidding.
And Run.
Yeah.
Yes, Spooky. We'd love to. So
Woo!
let's see what Jonaside has a
9 of Cups.
backup. It's not a
Some more
backup.
cups.
It's a backup here. Look at that. Ooh.
Oh, it's an 8 of Cups. Sorry.
So
Yeah.
nice.
No, it's 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it the 8?
No, it's
9.
9.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great. Great.
that's
What do you
beautiful.
think, Keith? It's beautiful.
Well, like, yeah, it kind of to piggyback on what you were saying earlier, like 9 of Cups to me seems very like familial oriented too. Definitely, I always think of like, the long table of like a harvest, and all of the kind of conjoining personalities and emotional weird things that could be there is kind of put on the back end to kind of cheers, you know. And yeah, it's like a harvest card, I would say.
I love
What do
that.
you think?
I'm
Yeah.
seeing the tea party in Alice in Wonder. I'm
Yeah.
seeing the tea party in Alice in
Yeah.
Wonderland a lot. Like when you see that, like like and switch to your left or whatever. I think it's like too. I think it's saying like be
Mhm.
content when you feel content. I like we have a tendency to be like superstitious about contentment, which I think we get from Christianity. And it's just like, if you feel contentment's going to come and go, whether you enjoy it while it's there or not. That's its nature. It's like inspiration. You can be ready for it or not, but it's going to come and then it's going to go. It's not going to stay. And contentment's the same
Yeah.
way. And so if you're feeling content, John, just enjoy the hell out of it, because whether you do or you don't, there's going to still be that time when you're like, gotta go to work, gotta do a dumb thing,
Mhm.
gotta not feel content.
I
That's
see
gonna
that too.
come anyway. That's right.
Yeah, and to explore more of the harvest part, I mean, it's like
Shut
the different personalities of yourself, or like all the machinations, and finally having a wonderful festival with all the parts of you that are, kind of celebratory instead of worrying, or instead of, you know, trying to decide who's on the first shift for tomorrow of your personalities, Like, yeah.
And Johnny said, I actually do remember as a Cancer. I just remember that because I remember cancers because my mom's a Cancer.
Yeah.
You're a pagan, so you can be content. That's rad, John.
Hell yeah.
You're welcome. And Shadow Sam says 69.
Hey, and that's the Gemini, right?
We got Spooky, and that's the Gemini. So 60. It is the Gemini. Oh my God, that's wild. I love that. Jonaside says I'm a pagan, so I can be content. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we're shuffling for Spooky.
Okay.
Oh, I hate this. There we go. All right. Let me see. I don't know. I don't know if I'm still. I don't know if everybody can still hear me and see me. I don't. Keith is frozen for me, but that could be me.
Oh yeah, you were frozen for me. Oh, Cancer, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's John's sign. Yeah, yeah,
Cancer.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, 69 is the Cancer sign, like the crab.
There you
Okay,
go.
that's so interesting.
Yeah.
That is so interesting. All right, Spooky, this one's for you.
Which is interesting because 69, because Gemini is the twins, so it's like thin H with the I. Whereas like Pisces
That's
is
right.
also very cancerian. I wanted to say cancerous.
You're like, wait, I'm not gonna say that.
Freudian slip.
Oh, that's also your sign. Okay, Cancers are the best. It's 6 drop must be a Cancer also.
69, dude.
All right, Spooky. Let's see. I got one coming for you. Spooky. Oh, you got the Page of Swords too, Spooky. You got the Page of Swords too. You know what? It's got a little bit different vibe though for you. I feel like it's a little bit like you're moving forward and you're looking back, and I feel like you're troubleshooting. This is like you're looking back and you're like, here's the things, here's the mistakes I've made before, and I'm not gonna make them again. Like that feels really strong for me for you right now. And like I am behind you all the way on that. I'm not even really gonna say much more than that because like this is exactly what you should be doing. You're in the right place with this card. You're moving ahead and you're looking back at like not that, not that, not that. Don't get too stressed about it. This is exactly what you need to be doing. That's my ooh, I like that. What do you got, Keith?
All right, I'm refilling my bubbly. Hold on.
Yeah, Sam got that one too, Spooky. And I have more to with you. It's just like do it. Just like don't be, like just get it. And I'm all like, make sure you relax and calm down. That's a dumb thing to say, and that never helps anybody, right? But it's like I just kind of mean like it'll pass. You're doing the right thing and like diving into that stuff and recognizing it. It's awesome, actually. Very, very good vibe on it.
Interesting. Page of Pentacles.
Oh, cool. Did we get that earlier too?
No. But
Okay,
you got
good.
2 pages.
Yeah, you got 2 pages. Youthful energy at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with Pentacles too, it seems like things are maybe abundant or about to be right now of like different creative ventures that will actually be kind of earthly satisfying, which makes sense with all that you do and like production and helping folks out and even in your own stuff. So yeah, that's a great one.
It is. 2 pages for you, Spooky, is excellent. And it's just like you've got that air and that earth in there. So you're at the beginning of like a lot of really great stuff, if you ask me. Like you're and you bringing the to it that like you can learn a lot right now and you can probably learn really fast. And it's just like, but if you're in that place of like, I don't feel like I have so much to learn, I don't know if I can do it all, that's where you got to take a deep breath. Like you're in the right spot.
Yeah. I would even say too on that, like the aspect of being too bright-eyed and bushy-tailed by taking too much on, because it seems like you have a wealth of avenues. It's like I think the page is like right in front, right? It's on the way to becoming a knight and being discernible. So, you're at kind of the crossroads of figuring out which ones will benefit you the most, right? So, oh, it's Michelle. Stalled? Oh,
I think that's perfect. I think that's absolutely right. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't say
anything. I don't like we definitely are having some technical difficulties and we've been here for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we've been here for a while and we were having some difficulties. So like we should probably just say happy Halloween to everybody and do this again sometime.
I loved it. Yeah. And aside, the technical stuff was funny though. Come on. It's Halloween. This is a trickster
I don't know if
holiday.
you're there or not.
Yeah. it's a trickster holiday, and the ghost is in the machine. Love you all. Thank you so much, Michelle. Buy Michelle's book, Daydream Tarot. It's incredible, and it will give you the
Okay, good.
faculties to understand what all this
It's a
mumbo
trickster
jumbo means.
holiday, and Mary jumped in. Yes.
Yeah, and also listen to the Haunt Manual or read the Haunt Manual on Substack, which is where I publish the actual literature of the Haunt Manual.
Yep.
It's not a
All
blog.
right. Bye, everybody. Happy Sam Hain, Samhain. Thanks, Keats.
Thank you. See you soon. Bye.
Okay. Bye, everybody. And it'll go off in a second.